Imagine stepping into silence, not as a punishment, but as a gateway, a place where the noise of the world fades and the voice within grows clearer, stronger. This journey, walking alone, isn't a sign of weakness or isolation, but the very path to reaching further than you ever imagined. In this video, we will dive deep into the transformative power of solitude and discipline. Two pillars that Stoicism teaches us are essential to mastering life. You'll discover why choosing solitude is not retreat, but radical self-empowerment. How embracing disciplined habits, simple yet mighty, can reshape your future, turning fleeting motivation into unshakable willpower. At the heart of this transformation lies an often overlooked force, the dialogue within, the conversation with yourself that keeps your spirit steady amid life's chaos. We'll explore how the environment you build around you, physical, social, and mental, not only supports but amplifies your inner strength, whether it's setting boundaries against distractions like social media or surrounding yourself with people who push you toward growth. Every choice forms the battleground, where self-mastery is won or lost. This video will guide you through 15 Stoic lessons designed to awaken your inner fortitude, showing that every small, deliberate action is a step toward a life of integrity and harmony. By walking alone, you ignite a journey of profound self-discovery, cultivating discipline that not only channels your potential, but transforms your relationship with yourself and the world. Prepare to challenge the noise, to embrace solitude, not as loneliness, but as liberation, and to forge a path where your discipline becomes the compass guiding you beyond limits, because sometimes walking alone is exactly what it takes to reach further than anyone else ever could. 15 Stoic lessons to master life. 1. Embrace solitude as a source of strength. 2. Cultivate discipline through small daily habits. 3. Foster a healthy inner dialogue. 4. Design your environment for focus and growth. 5. Set boundaries to protect your willpower. 6. Choose your social circle wisely. 7. Transform distractions into tools of awareness. 8. Harness the power of intentional action. 9. Accept discomfort as fuel for resilience. 10. Practice self-care as an act of duty. 11. Align choices with your core values. 12. Build patience through consistent effort. 13. Reflect daily on progress and purpose. 14. Detach from external validation. 15. Commit to lifelong self-improvement. If these insights are resonating with you, please take a moment to like this video and consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from this perspective. Your engagement helps this channel reach more minds seeking clarity and strength in a noisy world. We've journeyed through the foundational elements of cultivating a life of purpose and tranquility, embracing solitude, forging discipline through consistent habits, nurturing your inner dialogue, shaping your environment, setting firm boundaries, and carefully curating your social circle. These initial steps, vital as they are, lay the groundwork for a deeper transformation, guiding us toward an active, intentional engagement with the world around us and the world within. Now, let's continue our exploration, turning our attention to how we can transmute common obstacles into powerful tools for growth and master the art of living consciously. Transform distractions into tools of awareness. In an age of relentless connectivity, distractions are not just external nuisances. They are profound mirrors reflecting our inner landscape. A buzzing phone, a flickering notification, a wandering mind during an important task. These are not merely interruptions, but invitations to deeper. The Stoics understood that the external event itself is indifferent. It is our judgment, our reaction, that holds power. So instead of merely trying to avoid distractions, we can learn to use them. Consider the moment you feel the pull of distraction. Perhaps you're trying to focus on a challenging work project, and suddenly, you feel an irresistible urge to check social media. Most people would either succumb to the urge, feeling guilty afterward, or resist it with immense willpower, feeling drained. A Stoic approach offers a third path. Observe the pull. What is it revealing about your current state? Is it boredom, a lack of perceived progress, fear of failure, or simply a deeply ingrained habit? This moment of observation transforms the distraction from an enemy into an informant. Each time your attention is hijacked, pause. Acknowledge the external trigger, but then turn inward. Ask yourself, why am I being pulled away right now? What am I seeking? What am I avoiding? This isn't about judgment, but about understanding. Perhaps the distraction is revealing a need for a genuine break, not just an escape. Maybe it highlights an area where your focus or interest is waning, signaling a need to re-engage with your task in a different way, or to reevaluate its importance. By treating distractions as opportunities for self-inquiry, you begin to defang their power. You move from being a passive recipient of external stimuli to an active observer of your own mind. This deliberate pause creates a critical gap between stimulus and response. In that gap, you can choose. You can consciously decide to redirect your attention, not out of brute force, but out of an informed understanding of your own internal mechanics. For example, if you find yourself constantly checking news feeds, ask, am I truly seeking information, or am I seeking a sense of control, or perhaps avoiding a more difficult internal conversation? If it's the latter, the distraction has served its purpose by revealing a deeper need. You can then address that need more effectively, perhaps by consciously dedicating time to reflection rather than unconsciously scrolling. This practice doesn't eliminate distractions entirely, but it fundamentally shifts your relationship with them, turning them into invaluable tools for cultivating mindful presence and strengthening your inner resolve. Harness the power of intentional action. Life is not a series of random occurrences, but a canvas upon which we paint with our actions. The Stoics emphasized prohieresis, our faculty of choice, as our most precious possession and the only thing truly within our control. Every action, no matter how small, is a choice, and when those choices are aligned with our values and a clear purpose, they become incredibly powerful. This is the essence of intentional action, doing things not by accident or mere habit, but with conscious awareness and a deliberate aim. Think about your daily routine. How many of your actions are truly intentional, and how many are simply reactions or autopilot behaviors? Do you wake up and immediately grab your phone, scrolling through social media before your mind has even fully awakened? Or do you intentionally choose a moment of quiet reflection, a few deep breaths, or a quick review of your day's most important task? The difference is subtle, but profound. One leads to reactivity, the other to proactive engagement with your life. Harnessing intentional action means bringing a sense of purpose and a clear why to everything you do. Before you speak, ask, is this true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Before you commit to a new project or obligation, ask, does this align with my core values and my long-term goals? Before you spend your time or energy, ask, is this the best use of my limited and precious resources? For instance, consider exercise. Many people approach it as a chore they should do. An intentional approach transforms it into an act of self-respect, a duty to maintain the physical vessel that allows you to live virtuously and fulfill your responsibilities. Each push-up, each mile run, becomes a deliberate commitment to health, discipline, and resilience. It's not just about the physical outcome. It's about the mental fortitude built through consistent, intentional effort. This intentionality extends to seemingly mundane tasks. Washing dishes can be a mindless chore or an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to appreciate the simple act of cleaning, to create order in your immediate environment. Preparing a meal can be a rushed necessity or a conscious act of nourishing your body and perhaps connecting with loved ones. When you infuse your actions with intention, you reclaim agency over your life. You stop drifting and start steering. You move from passively observing your life unfold to actively shaping it, brick by deliberate brick. This constant practice of intentionality cultivates a deeply rooted sense of control over your inner world, regardless of external circumstances, and powerfully reinforces the discipline you are building. It turns your life into a masterpiece of conscious creation rather than a haphazard sketch. Number 9. Accept discomfort as fuel for resilience. In our modern world, comfort is often seen as the ultimate goal. We seek to eliminate friction, avoid pain, and smooth out every rough edge. Yet the Stoics understood a profound truth. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. True resilience, true strength of character, is forged in the crucible of discomfort. Accepting discomfort is not about seeking suffering for its own sake, but about willingly stepping into challenging situations to test and strengthen our inner faculties. Think of it like building muscle. You don't get stronger by lifting the lightest weights. You get stronger by gradually increasing the load, by pushing through the burn, by embracing the temporary discomfort that signals growth. The same principle applies to our minds and spirits. When we consistently choose the easy path, our resilience atrophies. When we deliberately expose ourselves to discomfort, we build our capacity to face life's inevitable hardships with greater equanimity. What does this look like in everyday life? It could be something as simple as taking a cold shower. The initial shock, the natural desire to retreat, these are precisely the moments where you can practice rational assent. Your body screams no, but your rational mind can choose to endure, knowing that this small act of voluntary discomfort builds self-mastery. It teaches you that you are not simply a slave to your impulses. It could be choosing to engage in a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, rather than letting resentment fester. The discomfort of potential conflict, the vulnerability of expressing your truth. These are opportunities to practice courage and clear communication. It could be waking up early to work on a personal project when your bed feels incredibly inviting. The discomfort of leaving warmth and sleep behind is a small battle won for your discipline and commitment to purpose. More broadly, accepting discomfort means reframing challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as problems that impede your progress, see them as exercises designed to strengthen your virtues. A frustrating setback at work becomes an opportunity to practice patience and perseverance. A critical comment becomes an invitation to examine your ego and practice humility. The Stoics would say, the obstacle is the way. Each challenge is a chance to apply your principles, to refine your character, and to prove to yourself that your inner strength is greater than any external adversity. By deliberately choosing discomfort in small doses, you inoculate yourself against greater hardships. You teach your mind and body that you can not only survive, but thrive in challenging circumstances. This practice doesn't eliminate pain from your life, but it changes your relationship with it, transforming it from a source of dread into a potent fuel for developing an unshakable spirit. It's through this acceptance that you truly become resilient, not because life stops being difficult, but because you become tougher than any difficulty. 10. Practice self-care as an act of duty. In modern discourse, self-care is often framed as a luxury, an indulgence, or a reward for hard work. But for the Stoic, self-care is a fundamental duty. It's not about pampering yourself for egoistic pleasure. It's about maintaining the instrument, your mind and body, that allows you to fulfill your responsibilities, practice virtue, and serve humanity effectively. How can you be a wise, courageous, just, or temperate person if you are constantly depleted, running on fumes, or neglecting your basic needs? Think of yourself as a craftsman, and your mind and body as your most essential tools. Would a skilled carpenter neglect their hammer, letting it rust and break? Or would they meticulously care for it, sharpening, cleaning, and repairing it? Your well-being is not separate from your ability to live a virtuous life. It is a precondition for it. Neglecting your health is a form of self-sabotage that ultimately hinders your capacity to be useful and good in the world. What does Stoic self-care look like? It begins with the basics. Adequate sleep. Not just enough hours, but consistent, quality rest. Sleep deprivation erodes judgment, patience, and emotional regulation, all crucial for Stoic virtue. It's a non-negotiable requirement for a well-functioning mind. Nourishing food. Fueling your body with wholesome, balanced meals, not as an indulgence, but as an act of intelligent maintenance. It means being mindful of what you consume and how it affects your energy, mood, and cognitive function. Regular exercise. Moving your body, strengthening your muscles, and circulating your blood are essential for physical vitality and mental clarity. Seneca, for example, advocated for regular physical activity. It's not about achieving a perfect physique, but about maintaining strength, stamina, and agility so you can face life's demands without your body failing you. Mental quiet and reflection. This ties back to fostering a healthy inner dialogue and daily reflection. Taking time to step away from stimulation, to meditate, journal, or simply be still, allows your mind to process, consolidate, and recharge. This mental hygiene is just as important as physical hygiene. This approach to self-care is not about guilt or deprivation, but about intentional choices that serve your highest good. It means setting boundaries around your time and energy, even when it feels difficult, because you understand that your well-being is not a luxury, but a necessary foundation for ethical action. For instance, declining an extra social engagement when you know you need rest isn't selfish. It's a responsible act of self-preservation that ensures you'll be more present and effective for those you truly serve when it matters most. Practicing self-care as a duty is an affirmation of your commitment to yourself and to the principles you uphold. It's a recognition that you are an agent of virtue, and to perform that role effectively, you must maintain your instrument in optimal condition. This perspective shifts self-care from a fleeting pleasure to a steadfast commitment, empowering you to live more robustly and virtuously This is often how we live when we haven't clearly defined our core values and aligned our choices with them. The Stoics understood that true freedom and inner peace come not from external circumstances, but from living in harmony with our own rational nature and virtues. Your values are your internal compass. They are the fundamental beliefs that guide your judgments, decisions, and actions. Without them, you are merely reacting to the world, rather than purposefully navigating it. Discovering your core values requires introspection. What truly matters to you, beyond fleeting desires or societal expectations? Is it integrity, honesty, compassion, courage, wisdom, justice, growth, or contribution? Take time in solitude to reflect deeply on these questions. Write them down. Once identified, these values become your criteria for every significant choice you make. The challenge, of course, is that living by our values often requires difficult choices. It means saying no to opportunities that might offer short-term gain, but compromise your integrity. It means enduring discomfort when standing up for what is right, even when it's unpopular. It means prioritizing long-term character development over immediate gratification. For example, if integrity is a core value, how does that manifest in your daily life? It means being honest in your dealings, even when a small lie might make things easier. It means keeping your promises, even when inconvenient. It means taking responsibility for your mistakes, rather than deflecting blame. If contribution is a core value, how does that shape your career choices, your leisure time, or your financial decisions? It might mean choosing a less lucrative path that allows you to serve others, or dedicating a portion of your time and resources to causes you believe in. When your actions are consistently out of sync with your values, you experience an internal dissonance, a feeling of unease, regret, or even self-betrayal. This misalignment is a significant source of stress and unhappiness. Conversely, when your choices are deeply aligned with your values, you experience a profound sense of authenticity, purpose, and inner peace. This is the Stoic concept of eudaimonia, or flourishing, a life well lived in accordance with virtue. This practice requires constant vigilance. The world constantly pulls us in different directions, offering temptations that can subtly erode our commitment to our values. By regularly checking in with your internal compass, by reflecting on whether your recent actions genuinely reflect who you aspire to be, you strengthen your resolve and reinforce the integrity of your character. Aligning your choices with your core values is not just about making good decisions. It's about building a coherent, purposeful life that stands firm against the tides of external pressures. 12. Build patience through consistent effort. In an instant gratification culture, patience is often seen as a passive virtue, a mere waiting game. But for the Stoics, patience is an active, powerful form of resilience born from consistent, diligent effort. It is the understanding that worthwhile achievements, whether in skill, character, or external goals, rarely materialize overnight. They are the cumulative result of countless small, intentional actions performed with unwavering commitment over time. Think of a gardener planting a seed. They don't dig it up daily to check its progress. They provide consistent care, water, sunlight, good soil, and patiently trust the natural process of growth. They understand that rushing the process is futile, even damaging. Our own development, both personal and professional, operates on a similar principle. Building patience isn't about simply wishing for things to happen faster. It's about focusing on what is within your control, your effort, your consistency, and your attitude towards the process. It means accepting that outcomes are often outside your immediate grasp, but your commitment to the work is entirely yours. Consider someone learning a new skill, like playing a musical instrument or coding. There will be frustrating plateaus, moments of doubt, and the slow, often imperceptible progress that characterizes true mastery. Impatience would lead to quitting, to giving up when the initial excitement fades. Patience, fueled by consistent effort, allows you to show up day after day, week after week, making incremental gains that eventually accumulate into significant proficiency. Each practice session, even when difficult or unrewarding, is an act of building patience. In the face of setbacks, impatience often breeds anger or despair. Stoic patience, however, helps us to see setbacks not as failures, but as necessary steps in a longer journey, as opportunities to learn and adapt. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we are to persist and resist. Persist in our efforts, and resist the urge to be swayed by external difficulties or the fleeting desire for immediate results. This practice also strengthens our ability to handle difficult people or frustrating situations. Rather than reacting impulsively to every irritation, patience allows us to pause, to consider a reasoned response, and to understand that some things are simply beyond our control and require a steadfast, calm demeanor. It helps us avoid the common traps of irritation and hasty judgment, allowing us to maintain our inner tranquility. Patience, built through consistent effort, cultivates a deep respect for the process itself. It teaches us to find satisfaction not just in the destination, but in the journey, in the daily act of showing up and doing the work. It reinforces the understanding that while we cannot control the timeline, we absolutely control our commitment. This active patience is a powerful antidote to the anxieties of a fast-paced world, grounding us in the present moment and empowering us to pursue our highest goals with unwavering resolve. Reflect daily on progress and purpose. Self-mastery is not an accidental achievement. It is the result of deliberate and continuous refinement. For the Stoics, daily reflection was a cornerstone of this process. It wasn't about dwelling on past mistakes or congratulating oneself excessively, but about an objective, detached assessment of one's actions, thoughts, and progress against one's chosen principles and purpose. This practice creates a vital feedback loop, allowing you to learn from your experiences and consciously steer your course toward a life of virtue. Imagine an athlete reviewing their game footage. They don't do it to beat themselves up, but to identify what worked, what didn't, and how they can improve for the next match. Daily Stoic reflection operates similarly. It's a mental debriefing, a personal audit of your day. There are many ways to approach this, but a common practice is the evening reflection, popularized by Seneca and Epictetus. Before bed, ask yourself a series of questions. What did I do well today? What virtue did I practice or demonstrate? Was I patient when someone was difficult? Was I courageous in a challenging situation? Was I just in my dealings? Where did I fall short? What could I have done differently? Example, did I lose my temper? Did I procrastinate on an important task? Did I allow external opinions to sway my judgment? And what temptations did I resist? E.g., did I avoid unnecessary gossip? Did I stick to my disciplined routine? What did I learn today about myself, about others, or about the nature of things? How did my actions align with my core values and my ultimate purpose? This isn't an exercise in self-condemnation. The Stoics were clear that self-criticism should be constructive, aimed at improvement, not at fostering guilt. If you identify a mistake, acknowledge it, understand its root cause, and then formulate a plan for how you will act differently next time. It's about being a benevolent but firm teacher to yourself. Daily reflection serves several critical purposes. First, it strengthens your self-awareness, allowing you to identify patterns in your behavior and thought processes. You begin to see your triggers, your weaknesses, and your strengths more clearly. Second, it reinforces your commitment to your principles. By regularly reviewing your actions against your values, you keep those values front and center in your consciousness. Third, it provides a sense of continuous growth. Even small, incremental improvements accumulate over time, and regular reflection allows you to recognize and appreciate this progress, fueling your motivation. This practice grounds you in a sense of purpose. It connects your daily actions, however mundane, to your larger philosophical goals. It helps you stay aligned, ensuring that you are not simply drifting through life, but actively and intentionally constructing a life of meaning and virtue. Daily reflection is the compass check that keeps you on course toward becoming the person you aspire to be. 14. Detach from external validation. In an era saturated with social media and constant comparison, the desire for external validation has become an insidious trap, subtly eroding our self-worth and autonomy. We are conditioned to seek likes, approvals, praise, and recognition from others to feel good about ourselves. But the Stoics understood that placing your happiness and self-esteem in the hands of others is to hand over control of your inner peace. Detaching from external validation is about recognizing that your worth is intrinsic, derived from your character and virtue, not from what others think, say, or feel about you. Epictetus famously said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things." This is a radical statement in our reputation-obsessed world. It means consciously choosing an inner scorecard over an outer scorecard. The inner scorecard measures your actions against your own principles and values. The outer scorecard measures them against the opinions and judgments of others. When you seek external validation, you become a slave to external circumstances and the fickle opinions of others. Your mood rises and falls with every compliment or criticism. Your decisions become influenced by what will gain approval, rather than what is right or true for you. This makes you vulnerable and prevents you from living authentically. Detaching from this need doesn't mean becoming indifferent to everyone or never appreciating genuine feedback. It means understanding that their opinion does not define you. Your intrinsic value comes from your rational choices, your efforts to be virtuous, and your commitment to your own integrity. These are entirely within your control. Consider common modern scenarios. Social media, posting an update and anxiously checking for likes and comments. Detachment means sharing, if you choose to, but then letting go of the outcome. Your post's value is in its content or intention, not its popularity. Workplace. Constantly seeking praise from your boss or colleagues. Detachment means focusing on doing excellent work for its own sake, for the satisfaction of a job well done, and for the contribution it makes, regardless of whether it receives immediate recognition. Personal relationships. Changing your behavior or opinions to please others. Detachment means being true to yourself, setting healthy boundaries, and understanding that not everyone will agree with or approve of you, and that is perfectly acceptable. This detachment fosters immense psychological freedom. When you no longer crave external validation, you are free to pursue what you genuinely believe is right, to express your authentic self, and to make choices aligned with your values, even if they are unpopular. You become less susceptible to manipulation, peer pressure, and the whims of public opinion. It is a difficult practice, deeply ingrained as the need for approval often is. It requires constant vigilance and a conscious redirection of your focus from "what do they think" to "am I living in accordance with my best self?" But with consistent effort, you build an unshakable inner fortress of self-worth, grounded in your character rather than the ephemeral judgments of the outside world. This is not arrogance. It is a profound form of self-respect and a cornerstone of true autonomy. Commit to lifelong self-improvement. The journey of self-mastery is not a destination, but a continuous process. For the Stoics, there was no point at which one arrived and could cease their efforts. Life is a school, and we are all students, perpetually learning, growing, and refining our character. This commitment to prokopton, or progress, is a defining characteristic of the Stoic path. It's an embrace of humility, a recognition that there is always more to learn, more virtue to practice, and more wisdom to integrate into our lives. The idea of lifelong self-improvement stands in stark contrast to the modern tendency to seek quick fixes or to view personal development as a temporary project with an endpoint. The Stoic perspective is more akin to tending a garden. It requires continuous weeding, planting, pruning, and nurturing. Neglect it, and it will quickly revert to wilderness. What does this commitment entail? Continuously applying Stoic principles in daily life, even when it's difficult, or when you feel you've mastered a particular lesson. Virtue is a skill that must be regularly exercised. Adaptability. The world changes, and so must our understanding and application of wisdom. Lifelong improvement means adapting our strategies and perspectives while remaining anchored to our core values. Embracing challenges as teachers. Every setback, every failure, every moment of discomfort becomes an opportunity to refine your understanding and strengthen your resolve. The obstacles are merely the curriculum for your continuous education. Think of an experienced martial artist. Even after decades of training, they continue to practice their forms, refine their techniques, and seek new insights. They understand that mastery is not a fixed state, but a dynamic process of ongoing dedication. Similarly, the Stoic sage is an ideal, a guiding star, not a state of being that is easily attained and then maintained without effort. This commitment to lifelong self-improvement imbues your life with profound meaning and purpose. It turns every day into an opportunity for growth, every challenge into a lesson, and every interaction into a chance to practice virtue. It fosters a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing you are consistently striving to be your best self, regardless of external outcomes. It's a liberation from the pressure of perfection, replaced by the joy of perpetual progress. We began this journey by imagining silence, stepping into solitude not as an escape, but as a deliberate gateway to self-discovery and inner strength. We've walked through these 15 Stoic lessons, each one a step on a path that redefines strength, not as the absence of struggle, but as the mastery of our responses to it. You've seen why solitude, often mistaken for loneliness, is truly a radical act of self-empowerment. How discipline, built brick by careful brick through small daily habits, transforms fleeting motivation into unshakable willpower, and how the continuous, honest dialogue within becomes the unwavering voice that guides you through life's inevitable chaos. The environment you cultivate, the boundaries you set, the company you keep. These are not external accessories, but extensions of your inner battleground, where self-mastery is perpetually won or lost. By transforming distractions into tools of awareness, harnessing intentional action, and embracing discomfort as fuel, you are not just reacting to life, but consciously shaping it. This path is not easy. It demands vigilance, patience, and a relentless commitment to your values. It means practicing self-care as a duty, aligning every choice with your deepest beliefs, reflecting daily on your progress, and detaching from the seductive siren song of external validation. Above all, it requires a lifelong commitment to the endless pursuit of becoming better. Remember, the Stoic journey is one of prokopton, continuous progress. You are not striving for an unattainable perfection, but for consistent improvement, for living each day more virtuously, more rationally, more in harmony with your true self. As Epictetus wisely taught us, no great thing is created suddenly. Your journey of self-mastery, your path to a life of integrity and harmony, is built one deliberate step at a time. It's a journey taken with conviction, knowing that sometimes walking alone is precisely what it takes to reach further than anyone else ever could. So I invite you to reflect. What is one small, deliberate action you will take today to step further down this path? What inner voice will you choose to listen to above the clamor of the world? If this video has resonated with you, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel for more insights on applying Stoic wisdom to modern life. Share your reflections and tell me in the comments below, which of these lessons speaks most powerfully to you right now, and why? Your thoughts not only enrich this community, but also deepen your own understanding. Thank you for walking this path with me.